Are you tired of cutting coupons, reusing Ziploc bags, and penny pinching on paper towels and milk? I know I am, and sometimes I wonder where did we learn these behaviors anyway? Well, little do you know it was caused and promoted by the internet. So today it is my job to break up the insanity that has been caused by the likes of extreme couponing, ridiculous money saving hacks, and the scarcity mindset. Hello, I'm Armando Cuervo. I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master and JRPG gamer, and I welcome you to Gentlemen of Action, the channel that covers finance, business, self-improvement, and topics on how to be a man that gets stuff done. And today, I want to discuss the very important topic on how to actually save money. And unlike what the rest of the internet gives you, what I'm going to give you today is not total crap. Now, you probably realized I did the air quotes around the word actually, but that's because there's a lot of borderline ridiculous advice out there that they're talking about hacks and tips and tricks on how to save money. Now, I know it may sound like a negative Nigel here, but it's because I have tried a good amount of these tips and tricks, and yes, I did save some money. But the mindset of saving only money is very costly, and that's because many of us forget the most important resource that we as humans have, and that is the resource of time. Now, as you know, I really hate it when people waste my time, but after trying all these tricks and tips over the last decade of my life, I think I now realize that the one who was wasting my time the most was actually me. Okay, now you're probably thinking, Mondo, bruh, the hell you talking about? And I'll tell you what I'm talking about. A lot of these tips online include buying groceries at the dollar store, getting the generic brands of just about everything, using multiple coupons, finding the lowest price online, and of course, my absolute least favorite tip, which is reusing disposable items such as Ziploc bags and paper plates. Now, all these tips in their own right are ways to save money. But the amount of time that you're investing to save this money, you could just instead use that time to make even more money instead. If this is still confusing, that's okay, because I was not born with this mindset and I was never taught it in school or by my parents. I actually learned it after a lot of trial and error, a lot of reading, a lot of YouTube videos, and a lot of time wasted. So I'm going to provide you with my 3 money saving principles, which have changed my mindset on how to actually save money. And I'm going to include a lot of examples, stories, and typical Armando hijinks. Principle number 1 is to look at the price per unit as opposed to the total price. Price per unit is my favorite principle because it's what I use for just about everything. When I buy meat at the butcher, I look at the price per pound of meat. When I buy paper towels, I look at the price per square foot of product. When I buy liquids or packaged foods, I look at the price per ounce. When I buy the infamous Ziploc bags and paper plates, I look at how many cents it cost per bag or plate. When I look to buy a box of Marie Callender's pot pies, I look how much it cost per pie. And when I purchase office supplies, I do calculate how much it costs for each individual pencil, pen, and sticky note. All these math games are fun because there are so many stats involved in trying to find the best price per unit, and as you know, I'm a numbers guy. And yes, maybe people will find me a little crazy or question my sanity when they see me walking out with 3 boxes of frozen pot pies. But then again, I don't think I'm that crazy, only because I bought it on sale at Costco on Christmas Eve. It's actually very thought out. Number 1, I like pot pies, so it's something I like. Number 2, it's something I will use, or in this case, I will eat the pot pies. And number 3, it's probably the lowest price per unit I will ever find on a frozen pot pie. So I might as well buy it. I feel the only ones who are going to object to this line of thinking might be minimalists, because they would argue that I should only get what I need and probably save my money. But to me, that's short-term thinking, because I approach money saving from the long-term perspective. And I tell myself that a little extra money spent now in order to buy in bulk will save me a lot of money and time later. Plus, there's a reason I bought a freezer chest, is so I can put all these frozen foodstuffs and not have to go out as often. In addition, I have extra storage space specifically for bulk items like soap and paper towels and other consumables, so I might as well use it in order to, again, save myself time and money. Principle number 2 is to look at the amount of time saved as opposed to the amount of money saved. Alright, so this is the principle that covers my hatred for Ziploc bags, but I assure you, there's a really good reason why Ziploc bags are my go-to example, and here's the story. Back in the day, I rented a room in the house of one of my friends, which was great at the time because I saved a whole lot of money on rent. but I did not have the luxury of having my own kitchen or bathroom, which at the time that was just fine because I got a lot of other benefits that far outweighed the negatives. Now, my friend's mother also lived with us, and her nickname was Mumsy. Well, Mumsy had a lot of annoying habits. She would always insert herself into conversations, make sly comments, and also interrupt others while they were in the middle of tasks. So one day I was cooking and was emptying out a lot of Ziploc bags that stored various meats and other ingredients. Mumsy, always being the one to offer advice that was never solicited, recommended that I clean up the bags, dry them, and then store them for future use. I, of course, being in the middle of cooking, found it to be a nuisance to clean dirty bags and increase my workload unnecessarily. I said, Mumsy, there are extra bags in the pantry, and there's no point in saving these bags. She, of course, responded by saying that my behavior was wasteful. So then I responded to her by asking Mumsy how much a Ziploc bag was, which at the time was 8 cents. So then I told her, Mumsy, I am not going to take a half hour of my life to clean 4 bags with soap and hot water just to save 32 cents. The cost of the soap alone is higher than those damn bags. And with those extra 30 minutes, I might as well just work at my day job for 1 minute and buy 4 new bags. Now you're probably thinking, Mondo, you're an But trust me when I say this, guys. Mumsy brought out the worst in people. So going back to principle number 2, the issue with my old habits and following the online blogs is that sometimes on a weekly basis I would go to 4 or 5 different stores in order to get all the items that I needed, because each store had their different specials and the lower prices for certain items. For example, I would go to Walmart for my everyday groceries and cleaning supplies. I would go to the butcher or Latino markets for meats and produce. I would go to Costco for bulk items, and then I would go to Publix for my buy one get ones. In the end, I imagine that with my purchases totaling about $300 to $400 a month, I would save maybe about $40 to $50 a month, which after a while could add up. As you can tell, I'm very strategic with my purchases. But then there's always the dreaded, I just need some fresh eggs or milk today, or I just need one ingredient in order to make this recipe. Random one-off purchases that it just slowly creeps up on you and it's not part of your normal purchasing plans. I mean, I could technically go to the Latino markets in order to save 30 cents on a dozen eggs and 50 cents on a gallon of milk, because that Latino market, we call it Bravo or Presidente down here, does have the lowest price for those items. But instead, I just choose to go pay the premium at the Publix that's about 5 minutes away from me, because going to the Latino market will cost me an extra 20 minutes in order to get those same items. In essence, I value the 20 minutes of time over the 80 cents of savings because it seems kind of silly to spend an extra 20 minutes just to save 80 cents. So this same idea can be used for when I want to go buy cat food. I could save $1 by going to Walmart, or I can just pay the premium of $1 at Target and not spend an extra 10 to 15 minutes going to Walmart because Walmart is very much out of the way for me. Another important price point is for gas. As you know, everyone's trying to find the lowest cost per gallon of gas. And by driving to Costco, I could save myself upwards to about 10 to 20 cents per gallon, which that's a lot of cents per gallon. But I'd rather just go to 7-Eleven when I really, really need gas. And that's because 7-Eleven is approximately 2 minutes away from me, while Costco is about 25 minutes away from me. So you're probably still thinking, well, Armando, 20 cents per gallon of gas, that's still a lot of savings. Why don't you go to Costco? And that's because my tank probably only holds about 10 to 12 gallons of gas. So if I get, let's say, 10 gallons of gas at 20 cents per gallon, that's a total savings of $2. So I'm effectively going out of my way 25 minutes in order to save myself $2 on gas. This is why the price of convenience does have its place, because it's not always about the amount of money saved. A lot of times it's about the amount of time saved. Principle number 3, look at the value provided, as opposed to, again, the amount of money saved. Yes, the value proposition is a very strong argument for me when making decisions on how to save money or make money. For example, online blogs will tell you that in order to save a lot of money, you could change your own oil or your brakes on your own car. You could use your mobile phone's hotspot or free Wi-Fi at the coffee shop, as opposed to having an internet bill with an internet service provider. You could get a $400 laptop as opposed to a $600 laptop. And of course, the best way to save the most amount of money is to cook your own meals instead of ordering takeout all the time, which from personal experience, I can say that cooking the food part, there's definitely a lot of ways to save money in that. I have a lot of experience saving money right there. But then what about all the other stuff I just said? I could change my own oil and brakes, which will probably save me about $60 per service. But then I would need to figure out a way to lift up my car, get under my car, sweat a lot because, there's nothing more manly than sweating, get a little dirty because, that's pretty manly to do too, get those hands dirty. But then I'll need to figure out a way to dispose my own oil. And considering I really don't even have the same tools as a mechanic, I'm probably going to have to use my home repair tools, which may make the whole endeavor a lot longer. I mean, it might take me several hours. It's probably not even going to take me an hour to change my oil. It's probably going to take me 4 hours to change my oil. Maybe it'll take me the whole day because considering that I don't have the same tools, I may have to look up YouTube videos to figure out what I'm doing and then prep and then do a whole lot of preparation for all this stuff. Now, a mechanic, on the other hand, might take about 30 minutes to do the same damn thing. So the value for me doing it myself, I save $60. The value in a mechanic doing it for me, which costs me $60, is it saves me a whole day to do something else. As for the internet and computer examples, you could save about $60 per month by not paying for internet. But then you're limited in what you can do. I mean, watching streaming services will probably be kind of spotty or not able to be done. Or if you need to use Wi-Fi, because let's say your mobile hotspot's not available, then you might be forced to be outside of your home in order to use the internet consistently. Now, in order to save those $60, you're basically modifying your whole life. So, in my opinion, it's just better to instead go work an extra 6 hours at your day job in order to afford the luxury. A more expensive computer is probably a more powerful computer. So in our pursuit to not spend an extra $200, we may be denying ourselves the additional potential to make even more money with a more advanced tool, such as a better laptop. Now, I recently bought a new laptop because my old ones were not as powerful for video editing. My newest laptop was about 50% more expensive than my first computer, but it's far more effective for my content creation, and it's great for my long-term goals. And speaking of valuing your time and increasing your worth, it's time for some shameless marketing. If you're looking to learn some new marketable skills, may I suggest Skillshare.com. Skillshare.com is an online learning community where instructors and creators like myself come together to teach others, like you, do digestible, learn at your own pace courses. Support me while learning something awesome by using my referral link below for a free trial. And full disclosure, I've been a consumer of Skillshare.com for over 2 years, and I use it as an outlet to promote my courses and teach others public speaking. And there you have it, the 3 practical principles that I use and promote every day to actually save money, which are to look at the price per unit, look at the amount of time saved, and look at the amount of value provided. And here are my final thoughts. Time is valuable. The script for this video that you're watching right now took me about 4 hours to write. And that doesn't even include the countless edits that I've done, which took about another 2 or 3 hours. In recent years, I've taken on a lot of new commitments in order to make content, be an entrepreneur, practice martial arts, among other things. And all these activities are very important to me. And for that, I make time for them. Because of all these commitments and because I've made time for them, I can honestly say that I've significantly changed the concept and the mindset of time. And I realized that saving money is an important thing. I mean, this channel is all about trying to make money, trying to be better, talking about entrepreneurship, business, finance. I mean, I'm looking to be at a point where I can live off of all my pursuits on the internet, where I don't need to work the day job. And I hope that you can do the same, and I want you to be prosperous. But there's something important about time. Even though saving money is important, even though money is important, time is much more important than money, because you can recover money that you lost, but you'll never recover the time that you lost. So always value your time and always know your worth. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I provided you with some value today. If there's a business or improvement topic that you'd like to be discussed, please mention it in the comments below. Also, if you like what I do around here, make sure to like and subscribe and check out the description on more ways to support me and my crazy dreams. Also, when you go and save that money and time, make sure that you save both of those things with gentleman style.